two travel agents with an ocean-sized obsession for small ship cruising.
Get ready as we inspire you to sail beyond the brochure.
It's the ship less traveled.
Well, they say love is like a river. That's lyrics from The Rose. And when I think of love and I think of rivers, I think of France. And of course, it's July. Bastille Day is coming up. So there's so many things to love about France. I could write a love letter about France. How about you, Lorraine?
Oh, same. I love it. We go down there as often as possible. It's beautiful down there.
Yeah, totally. When you think about going to France, is there any sort of imagery or sensations that come to mind?
Well, I love Paris, of course. Everyone loves Paris, but I also love the French countryside.
Yes.
Um, the sunflower fields and the lavender fields, and there's just nowhere else like it. And of course, the wine. The
I was going
wine
to say.
is a big thing.
And the cheese and the aroma of a bakery. I love those things. And I'm sure you and I were like travelers that we serve. France is not a one-time destination. You don't go to France once and do it all the way. You go back to France over and over and over again. And I think river cruising, it's a great way to experience France in a whole new way.
It really is. It really is. I mean, you can drive easily through France and you can take the train down France, but that isn't luxury. When you're driving or taking the train, you're booking different hotels every night, you're in and out, packing and unpacking suitcases, and that's just not my kind of thing.
Totally. And I know a lot of North Americans, they like to do the bus tours in France. And, I'm not knocking it, but you are moving around. And so there's energy and packing and leaving a hotel and getting to a new hotel. And we talk about it every single time on this vlog. Unpack once and just let the destination come to you. So you've done a French river cruise.
I have in 2019, right before COVID, thankfully, we fitted one in from Arles up to Lyon.
That must have been on the Rhône.
Yes, it was, yes.
Awesome. Well, you're gonna have to give us the scoop. Who'd you go with and how was it?
So we went with Emerald. We did a bit of research into different cruise lines. Of course, I've already been with Uniworld and we kind of loved Uniworld, but we were looking for something a bit different with France, a bit more modern. And
Mhm.
Emerald fitted that, and we had a beautiful French balcony cabin. And the ship was beautiful, to be fair, and the staff were amazing, really attentive. The ship was great fun. It was quite a young ship, so we weren't the oldest there, but we weren't the youngest, so that was good. And they had really fun quiz nights, which we entered and won, actually. Our team won. Um, and yeah, just really fun, attentive, luxurious, modern, everything you expect from a river cruise.
Let's go back to that French balcony since this is our love letter to France. What is a French balcony? Because I think that's a question a lot of clients have.
Yes, so they vary actually from cruise line to cruise line. So what Emerald do, they have there's a fixed window at the bottom, and then you press a button and the top window comes down to level with the bottom window.
Cool.
So, they have a couple of chairs and a nice table there by the window. So you can just sit and read your book, have a glass of wine, get away from the rest of the ship for a while if you want to, after a long day of touristing. But yeah, it was brilliant. And some ships, they actually have the French balcony railing, so it really varies. But a lot of them now are doing this: open the top window, let the fresh air in, see the
Mm.
scenery, panoramic view.
And I just think about doing it in France and just floating by. And of course, there's the wine and the chateau and the landscapes. And I mean, that area that you're talking about, that's particularly known for wine and food. So, what a hot spot. You must have
Oh,
ate so well.
it was so amazing. And there's so much history down there. Every little town we went to was different from the last, and just beautiful, France, beautiful little villages. and they've got the outside cafes, and everyone's just sitting and relaxing, drinking a glass of wine for their lunch, and it's all just so chilled.
Mm.
And the river cruise really brings all that inside as well, because these river cruises, they buy local food, they cook everything fresh to your plate. And the wines are locally produced wines, so you're on board, but you're still in the destination.
I love that. There's an art to living, and I think the French know it so well.
Oh,
Joie de vivre.
absolutely, they do it really well. You don't find many stressed out people in France. Maybe in the cities, maybe in Paris, but they're not very stressed over there.
Well, and Paris has a reputation. It's not necessarily everybody's cup of tea. Sometimes we have to go through Paris because it's a transit hub. But the rivers just get out to all the corners of France. In French we say l'hexagone. France is a hexagon, and when you think about its size, there's a lot of rivers. You can do the Rhône, where you were at. There's the Loire. There's Eastern France, and then you want to know what my dream river cruise would be? The
Which
Seine.
one? Oh,
Mm.
do you know what? That is next on my list actually, to depart from Paris and go and see the Normandy landings. And the cemeteries, that's one to see for sure.
So you're interested in some of the WW2 sites that
I
that cruise touches on?
I am. I like a bit of history. I
Yeah.
love. I am very much into history, actually. The old buildings and that, which is why I love it here and I love Europe, is because we have so much oldness here. There's centuries of history in these destinations. So I love all that. I love it. So yeah, I mean the pretty little towns you get to see along the way to Normandy as well. I've heard they are spectacular and beautiful. So, all of it would just be stunning.
My attraction to it is because I love art, and so I would love to go to Giverny and see Monet's gardens. That
Oh,
for me would just be an inspiring moment. I feel it would stimulate my creative juices just to be in that landscape.
oh, I would love to see that too. And it's we talked about Paris a bit, but Paris is a fantastic city. And it is changed a lot for the better. I went decades ago, and people were rude, and they wanted you to speak French, but now they're really not like that now. The Parisians are much friendlier, and they're more accepting of other cultures and other languages now, and they really help you to, if you want to speak a bit of French, that they help you along with that. It's become much more friendly, and I love that about Paris.
Absolutely. I've been to Paris more times than I can count, and over the years, I've seen a shift. And I
Mm.
believe part of it is that France is becoming, Paris in particular, becoming more multicultural, more
Yeah.
multilingual, and it's becoming more accessible. And so, if people are, listening to us and you're thinking about visiting France and you haven't been, you're worried about the language barrier because things that you've heard, that's in the history books now.
Yeah, it is. It really is a friendly city now for everybody. That's what we've found the last few times we've traveled through. It's very friendly now. So
So,
definitely get on that Seine River cruise.
So if I was to pick you up and then drop you in Paris, like on a Google map, where would you want me to drop you off in Paris? What would you love to be doing right now?
Oh, just put me on a river cruise boat.
Down to the
Yeah, that's
Seine.
100% where I want to be. I would love to be in Paris right now. A fresh French baguette for breakfast.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there's
The
there's nothing
jam.
better than fresh French baguette. They really are. Their dining is exquisite. Just a French baguette just seems so much more exquisite than a loaf of bread.
That's the simple pleasures of Paris. And I always say to Paris, people going to Paris, while it does have the haute couture and the fashion and the Champs-Élysées, it
Oh,
doesn't necessarily have to be an expensive place to be because some of the
no.
best pleasures, the moments I've enjoyed in Paris are just ducking into a bakery, getting that baguette, which is cheap as chips, getting some lovely cheese, some fresh fruit. And if I was to celebrate Bastille in Paris, I would be making a picnic and I would be just going to a lovely park and enjoying it. And it's total vibe.
Oh, that's what it's all about. On a river cruise, you really get that because every day you're stopping at different destinations. So you literally the ship docks in a central location. You just get off and walk, and whatever you want to do, it's out there for you. So if you wanted to take a picnic off the ship, even they will do that for you. They will pack you a lunch so you can go and spend the day, or of course enjoy one of the beautiful cafes or restaurants that's waiting there for you. But it really is do as much or as little as you want on a river cruise. You're on a ship, but it's a hotel. It's your hotel for the week or however long your cruise is for.
Yeah,
So you can really do as much or as little as you like.
absolutely. And I think a trip to France can entail a river cruise and something else if you want, or it can just be the river cruise. There's so many ways to do it, but you'll need to think about when you want to go. So, what time of year did you experience it?
So yeah, we went we went peak August 2019.
Right.
Um, and it was very hot, of course, but the ship's air conditioned, so you come back to your nice air conditioned hotel at the end of a long day. You take a dip in the pool on the ship, or go in the spa and have a massage, whatever you want to do before dinner. And then after dinner, you can chill out up on deck with your new friends or old friends if you're taking some with you, and just enjoy the evening. Enjoy the evening in France. That's what it's all about.
I'll say it again, the joie de vivre, right? So, you
Yeah.
know, and I think that's one thing viewers should be mindful of with France, you do have a good range of your season. You can do springtime, you can do summertime, you can do autumn and quite late autumn. Of course, that's when I think I'd want to go for the Beaujolais wine harvest. I think I need something to wash down all the cheese I'm going to be eating afterwards. So, but there's really a good number of months that you can look at doing a river cruise. And of course, if you want to experience repeat river cruising, maybe consider different parts of France and different seasons. It really is a four seasons destination.
Yeah, I mean, some of these cruise lines do many more rivers than just the Seine and the Rhône. So you can actually see quite a lot of France just on a river cruise.
Yep, absolutely. The Dordogne River comes to mind, the Loire. There's a few opportunities in around Bordeaux. Of course, the whole coastline of France along the Atlantic. But then if we go back to rivers, there's some barges that you can tap into in Alsace. That's a really fun region for
Oh,
me. I love Alsace. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
these barges, the shore excursions are so fun. They take you hot air ballooning over the
Mm.
Alsace, go through Champagne, go into the chateau and experience life in France. Go into the vineyards and the wineries and the basements where they make the wine. Um, you can't beat that. You can't beat that.
Absolutely. I mean, I love Alsace because I love German culture, I love French culture, and it's just a fusion. And again, it's its own region. It's distinctive to other parts of France. And this is why we can continue planning trips and taking trips and going to France over and over and over again. We could be here all day.
We could, but I don't think we got time for that, Dave.
Absolutely. So, vive la République, vive la France. If you want to book a trip to if you want to go on a river cruise and you're in the UK, you need to get in touch with Lorraine. How are they going to do that?
Yep, I'm at bespokecruiseholidays.com, a website designed to introduce you to small ship cruising, and I'm on Facebook, Bespoke Cruise Holidays.
And I'm over at destinationwhatever.com. That's my website, my agency, and my name is Dave Wentworth. So if you're in North America and you'd like to connect with a number one Canadian travel agent, I'm here for you. And I speak French. Well, everybody, until the next time their paths cross, smooth sailing from us here at the Ship Less Traveled. We just love talking about small ship cruising with you. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Ah, she's speaking French.
Curious about small ship cruising and ready to start planning? We're here to help plan your next voyage, whether you're a first-timer or a seasoned sailor.
If you're in the UK, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me at bespokecruiseholidays.com or visit my agency's Facebook page. Let's plan something unforgettable.
I'm in Canada and cover North America. Visit my website, destinationwhatever.com, or connect with my agency on Facebook. Let's get you on board. Literally.
If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Click on those like and subscribe buttons and please share us with your cruise-loving friends. Support our channel and let's keep this ship sailing.
Thanks for coming on board. Until next time, this has been The Ship Less Traveled, where small ships lead to big adventures.